So let me, we're going to do task 1. I want you to do task 1 if you haven't done so with it. So in your Module 2 folder, if you could for me, just right mouse click on it, new file, or make sure you can click on Module 2 folder and click on a new file with this icon, or right mouse click on a file. The file I'd like for you to create, call this file tables, dot lowercase it, plural, tables.html. That's the name of the file. So in this, ignore my other files I have right here. You should have this index.html and tables with it. I was playing along with the other tables one. Don't worry about that. But for your exercise, for this purpose with it, just do tables.html. Type up your skeleton at this time. In your skeleton with it, make sure you still have the internal or what's called embedded CSS with it. So let me zoom in on this one so you can see what I'm talking about with it as well. So feel free to pause the videos with it, make sure it's properly aligned with it. And again, the styles is between your head section in here with it, so make sure you have that properly aligned with it. So take a second to pause, make sure you have your styles to your styles with it. And this is the definition, what I call as a definition, but when you have like tables and internal CSS with it. So anytime I use the element tables, table header, table data, like in line 5, I want it to be this particular, I want borders to be 1 pixel, solid, I want it black with it. The border collapse, I want to set it as collapse with it, padding 8 pixels with it, text align center with it. So just a simple table, just aligns it to the upper left hand corner with it. Take a second, pause the video, make sure this particular style to style section right here is in between your head section with it. So take a moment, pause the video, freeze this right now, and type exactly what I have right here. Make sure it's inside your head section because it is an internal CSS with it as well. Give you a second to pause that. So let's talk about this symmetric table right here with it. So I'm inside the body of the tag, and it's between my body and my tag. So make sure you do an H3 on here. So I did an H3. Make sure you have the whole thing is H3, task 1, symmetric table. Same thing as what I have here with it as well. This is just a simple table to table. Let me zoom out on this thing so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's table, as you can see. You have 3 columns. What does that mean? Well, each of the columns that you have in here, for example, line 18, 19, and 20, header 1, 2, and 3, can you see where that's labeled? Remember now, TH is bold, TD is not bold. That's the only difference with this. So table header, we have the header, it's bold, and the TD is the data. The data is not bold with it. So I just label data 1, 2, 3, data 1, 2, 3 across each of the rows here with it. So you make up basically 3 columns, and your number of rows that you have is there's 3. So this particular table is what you have from here to here. Make sure it's indented in. Make sure it's properly with it. I'll give you a second to pause on this video. Pause the video, type exactly what I have right here. Okay, so the next thing I need for you to do, you see this line right here is called horizontal rule, which is this line right here, which is this line 38. So it's one of those things that it's a tag where you don't have to put a closing tag. Horizontal rules is just a horizontal line that comes across with it. So this line is line 38. So please insert that line in, align it with the same line as your tables with it. All right. And this is the part there I'm going to have you do with this. So I gave this an H3, task 2, column and row span. This table is a table, column span, and row span with it. So I'm going to zoom out. Let me zoom out, and I'm going to talk to you about this table and the makeup for this. So let me zoom out with it. Okay. So make sure you have H3, exactly what I have here. So let's talk about this part right here. Okay. Let's talk about this part right here. So here's the table tag. Notice how I indented in, so it makes it read it a little easier for you with it, right? So if you look at it, how many rows do I have? I have 3 rows, right? So make sure this is a table that I have table to table. I counted here. Here it is. Row 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 rows. Look at the last column. Header C, data B1, B2, and data spanning 2 columns. That's 4 rows. But if you look at it, it's spanning across a couple of columns and a couple of your rows in here. So in your table row that you have created, so make sure you have your column span for your table header. In this is your table header with it, right? So your table header column spans of 2. What does that mean? This is 1, 2. So this is the one that spans across 2 columns over here. These are the 2 columns that you have spanned across with this thing. So heading spanning 2 columns. That's what I wrote in here with it. Of course, the header C is the header C right here. All right, make sure you're closing out your tags with it. That's for your first table row. Your second one is this one right here. This is your second one right here. So you apply the table span, the row span on 2, on equal to 2. That will give you a particular spanning across 2 rows with it as well. So that's basically line 47 with it. All right. So and then you put data 1 and 2 with it. So please feel free to freeze this video and type this video like I have it right here with it. And then you come down to the 3rd row, which is line 51 to line 54. That's where I put in the data A2 and B2 on here. That's this right here. All right. So you have A2, B2 with it as well. Again, table row, closing your table row. And the 4th row is data D, and that's starting your data D, but this time it spans across 2 columns. All right. So like I said, make sure you have this alignment properly done with it as well. So I want you to see this. This is what goes into this. So make sure you make your output to look exactly like mine with it as well. All right. And here's what we do. The last one is this one right here. You will need to create this. All right. Make sure you have your horizontal rule across this. And you're going to create this part right here. This is the part that you will create. So using what you know from task 2, apply that to task 3. All right, I show you 1 plus 1 equals 2. What's 2 plus 2 equals what? So it's the same thing as you need to know where to apply your data spanning. You need to create this table in HTML. All right, this table needs to be in HTML. So I'm gonna draft like a Word document, and you're gonna have to take a screenshot of your entire browser. So what I'd like for you to do is, let me move this over here with it. This is the browser I need for you to take a picture of with it. So make sure you get everything aligned with it, all right? And make sure you take a picture of this entire browser, including the URL, the 127.0.0.1, this whole URL web address. So take a picture of all of this right here. I zoomed out on it. It needs to be exactly like this with it, and copy and paste this into the Word document with it as well. So if you need to pause this video to get this code, please feel free to pause it with it. So that's all I have for this particular section. All right, and we will meet again and make sure this is completed before we meet next time.